everything is essentially in this practice that you could want for the rest of your life. I was just thinking about my relationship with Nectar of the Path, and the fact that for many years I had been doing, even before Tergar, we were doing these really long, complicated sadhana practices, and for me that was, I think my understanding at the time was it had to be long and complicated for it to have value, and it's just part of that learning process that we go through. But then over the past few years, practicing with Rinpoche and doing the different programs on Vajrayana online, and the Mahamudra and the Dzogchen and the nature of mind, and it's like everything is, my need for complexity is kind of gone out the window. I want it to be simple, and by nature I'm that type of person that really appreciates the essence of things rather than a lot of flowery things. But for whatever reason, over the years, all the additional and in-depth complexities kept me engaged. But I think I realized that I was starting to disengage because of the complexity of it. So in the end, I started to, I took a look at this, at Rinpoche's Nectar of the Path again, and I thought, I started to really, and I really read it, I sat down with it and really read it and contemplated it, and started to really, and then also doing it in combination with nature of mind practice, really all of a sudden, the switch flipped, and everything, I started to realize, oh my God, how extraordinary this practice is. And the fact that everything is essentially in this practice that you could want for the rest of your life. And so I really started seriously working with this as my daily practice, and really taking my time each day to go through it. I'm not sure what it was. There was something just quite extraordinary about this text, because it stripped away all the additional flourishes and just got down to the essence of it. And so for me, what my daily practice is now is every day I do Nectar of the Path, and then I do take the time to do a good long session of the nature of mind practice, which is within this text, and it's pretty much been life altering. And so yeah, that's my main practice, and that's what I love.
You said something about nature of the Nectar path being life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
In what way?
Well, I think because it's very deeply profound, but it's very simple. It's very easy to go to any one of them, the pieces of it. Whether you're going through the 4 thoughts and reflections. I mean, that for me just sets my day up. If I do that, my day starts right. It puts everything into perspective, no matter how I wake up. And then you have refuge in bodhicitta. I mean, that having something that you deeply trust and have belief in, and I came from a very traditional religious background, and where faith was demanded and guilt was paramount, and that none of that's in here. It's I think you just you have that deep place where you can settle, and then I think one of the most important aspects is Guru Yoga, is discovering that your essence and the essence of the teacher and the Buddha are all the same, and having strong and deep belief in that. It may not always manifest, and you may not always be able to find it, and there are days that it doesn't feel quite that way, but I know in my heart of hearts that it's true. So anything else that arises, any of my failings, what my perceived failings are, any of the things that I may be unskillful in, it becomes much easier to acknowledge them. And once you can acknowledge them, you can let go of them and move on. So they don't become this burden that you carry around, and this sense of, hopelessness, and or this sense of I have to fix me, or there's something wrong with me. Just understanding, and when you fully trust that your essence is the same as the essence of the teacher, as the essence of the Buddha, then, that's it. And then from there, you just keep, working away at, getting through and getting rid of the old habits and behaviors and those things that very subtle things that you cling to, or sometimes not so subtle things that you cling to, and you're able to over time trust that you'll be able to let go of it and just be able to rest in that essential nature.